This is the demographic and economic inputs sheet of the C4P vaccination tool. And it's the third part here of the setup activities that you need to do. The first thing that you're going to need to do is put in currency inputs. Second, put in economic inputs. And third is to put in demographic inputs. In each of the cases, once you've identified what the country is that you are in, and remember you do that on the cover page right here. Whenever you select that, then you're going to get suggestions as to what the reference value will be for the labels here. But you can put in whatever you want to according to what your needs are. So you could put in LEC here, or you could put in capital LEC there. And you could put in LEC here if you wanted to instead of the code. And of course, for your foreign currency, I think you're going to be using US dollar. You can use USD such as this, or you can just put in USD according to what you want. And those labels will be shown throughout the tool from then on. It's also going to ask you for economic inputs. Now, you'll see that there is an economic inputs for the start year. So one of the things that you probably want to do is go to the strategy and choose the start year here. Once you do that, then all of the numbers are going to change here. So I've done that. Now I'm going back here and I see, okay, so the exchange rate, I'm going to say, I'll say that it's 216. I don't really know what it is. And then I'll keep it there. Now the reference value that I've seen here is 103. You can go to the UN operational rates, and there's a link to it here, as you can see, and you can check what the latest rates are. And then usually when we're doing this, we just project that they're going to remain the same because we don't have a great amount of information as to what the exchange rate is going to be over the 5 years. The annual discount rate is usually set at 3% for any of these costing types. If you have a reason to increase it or decrease it, then you can change it here. But we strongly suggest that you stay with what the standard annual discount rate is, which is 3%. And what that's used for, just so you know, is to discount the value of any capital expenditures, or such as vehicles or cold chain equipment, things like that, that have a value over a number of years. The estimated useful life years for the introduction cost is the next thing that you probably want to keep at 5 years. And what this is doing is this is allowing you to annualize the costs of something that you do in the first year of your startup, so that it's not looking as a huge introduction cost. Of course, later on you're going to be able to annualize the costs or not annualize the costs, so you can see where those spikes are. But using this 5 years also allows you to spread out the costs over a number of years so that the spikes don't look so huge when you're looking at annualized costs. Last but not least, we have demographic inputs. Now, we're not going to be looking until the next tab for putting in the actual population numbers, but you do want to put in the annual population growth rates here. Again, usually these should remain constant. And you can usually get those from your Bureau of Statistics, who did your last census, and they can tell you what the estimated annual population growth rate is. And then the effective growth rate is basically being calculated here from your annual growth rate. And so you can just leave this and it will calculate itself here, so you see the effective growth rate over the years.